FM.
Oh, it's not the kill. It's the thrill of the chase. The reincarnated edition of Deep Purple, mid-'80s. I think 5 of the members returned, including Richie Blackmore, Rod Evans, etc. And it's not about taking someone's life. It's about, simpler things, including Sweet Lucy, who was a dancer, right? And you go ahead and you read those lyrics, man. They're pretty intense. Yet it was allowed on public radio all across this great nation back in the 80s. Check it out. Give it a read one of these times. For those of you who hop on the Google, good stuff there. Mid-'80s rock, Deep Purple. Actually saw them, 6, 7, 8 years ago, maybe. Right here at Daly's Place. It was a very good show. All right, we move one day closer to Super Bowl 60. It's Dunkin' Donuts against Starbucks. And in my opinion, you can tell an awful lot about a human being right there. Okay? You don't even need to say anything else, do anything else. Just simply tell me, where would you rather go? Dunkin' Donuts? Starbucks, okay? I was born and raised on Dunkin' Donuts, not the coffee. I'd never had a coffee in high school. I didn't have a coffee, I don't think, until I actually got to Florida State. I might have had one here or there, but, my dad was one of those, oh, hell, it will stunt your growth. And, so he was just nothing but orange juice in the morning for yours truly. But Dunkin' Donuts is kind of the blue collar, right? It's kind of the working man's coffee. I'll take it black. Hell no. No sugars, no cream. Starbucks, yeah, give me that yada, 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 whatever the hell it is. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a Starbucks really in my life. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If that's your deal, get after it. Have a good time. I mean, after all, the world does need, I was going to say ditch diggers, but how about betas? The world needs betas. Why don't we just put it that way? Dunkin' Donuts, alpha. Starbucks, beta. And that's what it's all about as far as I am concerned. Okay, you want to comment on that? You can. If you want to beat me up, you can. You tried yesterday. It didn't work. I got out of here unscathed, woke up this morning. All the nerve. My goodness. Yesterday on the program, if you missed it, we were blessed with the appearance of Kendra Middleton, who is from here, and she does radio in my hometown in Boston. At the end, she said, Rick, I want to wish you and your team, the New England Patriots, the best of luck. And, I thought that I would have to defend myself for that, but you're a wicked smart audience, right? You know that is not the case. It was when I was on the ball in the 90s, but I absolutely have changed. And I was going to correct her, but I just figured, well, hell no. It's good radio to have something like that actually come out. So nonetheless, it's still 4.5. The total's 45.5. I saw something earlier today that more than 70% of the total wagers, whether it's the general public, which for the most part is always wrong, or the sharps, the /wise guys, more than 70%. We'll check in with the Philly Godfather. He's going to join us in 30 minutes. He'll give us the very latest as to where the money is going. He's going to pick for us a team, which in gaming terms is a side. We're going to go with a total, which I always, when I was a player, that was the most success I had. I know it's not as exciting to watch the clock go tick, 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 tick if you're playing an under, or, to put up more points if you're playing an over. I'm just saying I had far more success doing that. And then we'll take a look at props. You realize there's some knuckleheads out there that will blow their entire stash on the coin toss? or blow their entire stash on the length of the national anthem. The props are just out of this world. There's so many. And I think they do this for a reason. They stick it up on the board, or you look at it on your phone and you see one, then you see another, and then you see another, and it looks easy. But then all of a sudden, I think the goal is to confuse the living snot out of you. And this looks too easy, that looks too easy, and before you know it, I mean, how many people actually really do make money when it's all said and done? So we have that to get into as well. A little bit later on, want to talk about the Hall of Fame at 9 o'clock tonight. They're going to announce perhaps 5 new members. They only did 3 a year ago, which made no sense to me, considering how many talented guys there are. I think we will all agree that no matter where you go as far as the Hall of Fame, it's far more lenient. It's not like it once was. And, you can Carlos Beltran me all night long, or Jeff Kent me all night long, or Scott Rowland me all night long. They're not Hall of Famers, in my opinion. They're just not. And maybe I'm trapped into the Roberto Clementes, and I'm trapped into the Hank Aaron's, and I'm trapped into the Babe Ruths and the Ty Cobbs and things along those lines. But maybe there should be a wing, and Deion Sanders said it, where you put the best of the best of the best of the best in a category at the Hall of Fame. I don't know, but it's become way too watered down. And if that's the case, how the heck did a year ago you only put 3 members in, a couple of Allens, Jared Allen and Eric Allen, then it was Antonio Gates. Now, the Veteran Committee put Sterling Sharp in, and we know the Veteran Committee, or the Veterans Committee, is absolutely has said goodbye, at least for a year, to Bill Belichick, also Robert Kraft. And we'll see if L.C. Greenwood, Ken Anderson, or Roger Craig gets in. If one of them gets in, 2, perhaps 3. All right, we'll see. We'll also take a look at, the list, which goes from 15 to possibly 5 tonight out of players. I think there's 2 shoo-ins without any question. Larry Fitzgerald and Drew Brees are automatics. They are locks. But I have my other 3 that I have selected. We're going to get to that in just a couple of minutes. Okay, people are going crazy here about Tom Brady. And I'm just having trouble understanding this. I'm having trouble comprehending this. Tom Brady brought the New England Patriots 6 Super Bowl titles. If it wasn't for Asante Samuel and a helmet, a football to helmet grab by David Tyree, that's the 7th. If there wasn't a Mario Manningham play, there's an 8th. I know you can go the other way. You can bring up Malcolm Butler. You can bring up 28-3, where they were in the hole and they came back. Probably shouldn't have won those 2 Super Bowls, but they did. But this man won 6 of them in New England. And he was asked who he's rooting for. He said he did not have a, quote, dog in the fight. Of course he's rooting for the New England Patriots. What Tom Brady is attempting to do here is say this: I'm now a broadcaster. I'm trying to be at least a little bit objective about this game. I'm also a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, and that is where he is getting his paycheck, right? I mean, he gets $35 million as a broadcaster. Who knows how the money works as a minority owner in the NFL? I don't have a clue. But people are incensed by this. It's just driving them absolutely crazy, including my hometown, where, again, you would think the writers, you would think the media, after providing that city 20 years of nonstop amazing things to talk and write about, that they would give this guy a pass. Okay, what was it, 27 consecutive years where you haven't had Manning, Brady, or Mahomes in the playoffs until this past season? I mean, literally, for a decade, they were relevant. You know what it's like around here when the Jags aren't, and you start talking about the draft in late November and in early December. Imagine being a member of the media there. Imagine being a fan there. And every single year, there's something going on. There's something positive. There's a chance for it to actually take place. And because he doesn't come out and rub elbows with the current members of the New England Patriots, folks are going absolutely nuts here. Robert Spillane. Who the hell is Robert Spillane, by the way? If it was Mickey Spillane, then maybe there should be some concern, right? For those of you who don't know who Mickey Spillane is, just look up the Irish Mob. He used to control Hell's Kitchen, certainly before the Westies involved themselves. And boy, I was really disappointed in Hell's Kitchen. I went with the GF there about 5, 6, 7 years ago. I don't know what it was. Went to 2 U2 shows at the Madison Square Garden. Wasted a day at Hell's Kitchen. A lot of really cool old Irish bars, but wasn't what I did expect. Here's the bottom line. People care far more about Tom Brady not pulling for the New England Patriots than they do that Tom Brady is a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Think about that for a moment. Honestly, let it settle in and think about the two. The New England people, the national people, the media, they're more bothered by Brady not coming out and saying, hell yeah, I'm a Patriot for life, I hope they win, than the fact that he actually owns an NFL team and is still allowed to be a broadcaster each and every Sunday. Can you imagine if Tom Brady was the minority owner of the New England Patriots? Think of the outcry. Think of the folks who would put pencil to paper. Think of the talk shows. Think of everyone else, the, hot takes and startling comments that you may see on TV, etc. How do you allow Tom Brady to be a broadcaster? He's a minority owner of the New England Patriots. The fact that it's in Vegas and it's a terrible organization. The Raiders have been a doormat for a very long period of time. That's the only reason why this story is able to just disappear. And it's amazing to me. Sometimes I just don't get fans. And I don't get them in this case. It reminds me a little bit of Deion Sanders. And I get that both these guys are polarizing. You either love them or hate them. There's no in between. There's no you can take or leave Deion. There's no take or leave with Brady. It's one. You're either all in or you're all out. Well, there's still Florida State fans out there that are pissed that Deion Sanders took Travis Hunter with him to Jackson State before transferring on over to Colorado. That's his gig. That's his job. That's what he is supposed to do. I've had people tell me that they're burning Deion Sanders Florida State shirts, that they'll never respect Deion again. They'll never cheer for Deion again. Are you kidding me? Seriously, outside of Bobby Bowden, there has never been a bigger program builder than Deion Sanders. Never. Not one of the Heisman Trophy winners. Nowhere. And frankly, it's not even close. It's Bowden in its prime time. So the last time I counted, I think after 35 years worth of comments about the lovable alma mater, I have 3 Florida State friends left. If either one of you 3 does not like primetime, sadly, we can no longer be friends. All right, opening comments are brought to you tonight and every night by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. Look at it outside, man. Another beautiful day. It was a little, about 78 today, a little bit of a breeze, but another just sensational day here in Duval. And, as you make your track home, it's dark, right? And you're doing so right now, and you're thinking, I can't see. These lights are driving me crazy. I'm getting double vision. Just think of Lou Graham and Foreigner and double vision, okay? And you're driving home, and you're like, what's going on? Well, you may have an issue with your cataract, and it could be as simple as this to get it done. You may be provided a remedy from Shmunez Vision where no surgery is needed. However, if that is the case, you're talking about 37 years worth of experience with Dr. Neil Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, and Dr. John Hunt. And on top of that, okay, not only will they take you through the entire eye examination, they'll answer each and every one of your questions, and then perform surgery. So you have that, the hat trick, really, if you will. That is not the way it works at a lot of practices. They'll send you down the hall to a surgery counselor or something along those lines. I don't know about you, but if I'm going under, I want to be able to sit down and talk to the doctor who is performing surgery. That's the way it always is at Shmunez Vision. Check them out online. Go to Shmunez Vision. You can also go to Instagram and get all of the testimonials there as well at Shmunez Vision. All right, let's check the health of Super Bowl 60, the very latest on Sam Darnold. The very latest on Nick Amenwari. The very latest on Drake May. We'll take a look at it. We're waiting for the official report to roll in on this Thursday, but certainly we have what was released on Wednesday. You would think the extra week would provide extra health, not necessarily, including a huge injury yesterday on the practice field. We'll tell you about that when we do return on a Thursday edition of Into the Night.
Caesar is pleased to bring you the only undefeated champion in Roman history, the legendary 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail.
Listen up, Googans. Hicken here, still talking skin. This time I want to give you some great advice for Valentine's Day. Look, don't buy anything that either dies or adds pounds. Go see the girls at Beaches Dermatology and get a gift card or even a specific skin treatment, one that will enhance her beauty, maybe even help her look like she did when y'all first met. It's possible. Skin treatment is very important, and a gift from Beaches Dermatology makes a perfect gift this Valentine's Day. For locations, go to beachesdermatology.com.
What's up, Duval? I'm Kat Valamek, owner of Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran-owned pool company for over 10 years. We specialize in new pool construction and pool renovations, built on military values, integrity, communication, attention to detail, and honor. Now is the perfect time to start your pool project, so when the heat hits, your pool is ready. As an Iraq War veteran and Purple Heart recipient, pride in what I do is everything. Let me show you the difference in how my team and I execute your pool project with military precision. Call Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran pool company.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
For nearly 60 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods at the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard has been Jacksonville's trusted name for the outdoors. From archery to hunting and fishing and more, their expert staff helps you get it right the first time. Right now, stop in and try the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews and get dialed in before spring. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
I'm starting to realize being a homeowner isn't all upside, Jason.
I mean, it does give you a place to live.
Yeah, but now suddenly I need to know the names of all the people I need to look after my house.
Like who?
Like if my air conditioner breaks in the middle of the heat wave, I need to know who I call to fix it.
That's me. You know me.
But what if my water heater dies or my toilet backs up?
That would also be me. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
Okay, fine, but what about my duct cleaning and my water filtration and my sewer drain? Where am I gonna find all those guys if something goes wrong? I'm just a guy with a house and a dream and...
This pair of sunglasses. Whoa. Bueller Air and Plumbing is the only name you need to know. Our club members even get 2 free visits a year, so you know we're there when you need us.
Well, that's cool.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, Super Bowl 60. We draw closer to the event. Should be a whole heck of a lot of fun. So much pregame. And, you know, I get it. I think a lot of you out there as well do. But, you know, I almost think this second week, and it's not going to change. At least I wouldn't think it's going to change. Even with an 18-game schedule coming, I just think the extra week is a little bit too much. Just fishing for negativity stories. And I guess I should be used to this considering where I'm from. Aren't you glad you live here? Aren't you glad there isn't a bunch of knuckleheads around here that would just look for negative after negative after negative? Sometimes there's no choice when the team loses year after year. I mean, look at Florida State right now. Look at Florida right now. Okay? Look at what the Jags did in one season. But imagine winning and still the hatred that's coming from the scribes in Boston and the talkies in Boston, man. I mean, this guy brought you 20 years of freaking joy. 20 years. I don't know. Let it go, right? Let it go, let it go, let it go. I'll let it go. Absolutely, I will. Sam Darnold and Oblique, limited yesterday, waiting on the official numbers today. It's a little bit of a concern. All right, he's got 2 offensive linemen as well who are far less than 100%. Charles Cross with the foot, Josh Jones with an ankle and a knee. 3 of their best players didn't go yesterday, including Jackson Smith and Jigba. He did get rest, okay? Leonard Williams, rest. DeMarcus Lawrence, rest, okay? So 3 veterans yesterday, but the big news is Nick Emenwore hurt his ankle during practice. A very talented safety. It'll be interesting to see if he was able to go today. Again, hopefully, while we're on air, we know they're San Fran, they're 3 hours behind us. So it's 3:22 there right now. But hopefully we'll get. I missed it yesterday if it came in. So hopefully we'll get that before we get off the air here tonight, give you the very latest as far as certainly Emenwore and Darnold. That's what's most important. For the New England Patriots, they actually got some good news. Drake May practiced in full, all right? He was ill late last week. He had a shoulder that was certainly dinged in the matchup against the Denver Broncos. They're all saying the right things. Okay, Robert Spillane is on the injured report. He didn't practice yesterday with an ankle, but he said he is absolutely 100% certain that he is going to be able to give it a go for New England. Also, Harold Landry. That's probably the only guy you really need to know right now for the Patriots. He was limited with a knee. So overall, New England pretty healthy. You know, it looks like to me that everything in Seattle, even though there's been some limiteds, everyone should be able to go, with the exception being with Emenwore. And again, we'll have to take a look at that and see exactly what is going to happen. Hey, since we're mentioning Seattle, all right, they announced today that, you know, Australia is going to have a game. and the 49ers are the home team. We've known that for 72 hours. Well, today they announced the Rams. And again, this is another example of the stupidity of the NFL and the greed of the NFL. I understand growing the game. There's nothing more than we want than those folks who are drinking Foster's Lager loving the NFL. Okay, we all want that. There's no doubt about it, all right? But you're taking out what is one of the great current rivalries in pro football. Remember, the only thing that college football will ever have over the NFL is rivalries. If I was to throw out, give me the top 10 rivalries in football, you're probably going to give me 8 college rivalries and only a couple in the NFL. I mean, what is the best rivalry in the NFL? You're going to waste our time talking about the Bears and the Packers? What have they won? One Super Bowl in the last 50 years? You're going to tell me it's the old Raiders against the Chiefs? You're going to tell me it's the Dolphins against the Jets or the Dolphins against the Patriots? No, you're going to tell me it was the Steelers and the Cowboys. They were from different conferences. You're going to tell me it was the Colts against the Patriots. They weren't even in the same division. Okay, the NFL does. It really lacks with rivalries. Who's Jacksonville's biggest rival? It was Pittsburgh, right? Who is it now? Is it Houston? I don't know. Is it Nashville? Is it Indy? College football, totally different deal. But right now, this is the top division in football. Seattle is playing for the Super Bowl. The Rams are close, and you know it, and I know it. Okay, especially if Stafford returns for another year. They just re-up with Les Snead. They just re-up with Sean McVay. And certainly San Francisco, they've dealt with some pretty significant injuries as of late. Still a very talented team. So that means, in this case, instead of having a game where the Super Bowl is going to be played in Santa Clara and the home crowd against a divisional rival, the Rams, you're playing it in Australia. Now, I know you've dealt with that, with the London game, right? It's different. I mean, you can camouflage this all you want. You can massage this all you want. There's a clear-cut difference between playing a game against a divisional rival here at the bank and in London. An enormous difference. So this is another head-scratcher by the NFL. Take a non-conference team, take a non-rival, make them go across the pond and play the game. You don't do it against a divisional opponent. Even though they got slaughtered, okay? They got absolutely slaughtered by L.A. It's the right game. That's the type of opponent you want every single year if you're the Jaguars. Imagine losing Houston. Imagine losing Tennessee. Imagine losing Indianapolis. You have those 3 dates circled here. A lot of you go on the road to those 3 cities and watch Jacksonville there, all right? But putting them out in London to play a game, that would boil my blood. All right, just a quick thought on that. The Philly Godfather's coming up in 6 minutes. Tonight's show is brought to you by the Alexander Law Firm. All right. Got up with Rick Alexander over the weekend at his church. We raised some money. It was a lot of fun. It really was. They actually had a Bud Light keg. I can't remember the last time I felt like I was invading a frat party or just having a good time, drinking ice cold draft beer. And it was about 20 degrees out anyway, if you remember the way it was on Saturday night. But I was just talking with Rick about everything that he's a part of and why he elected years ago to take on far less as far as overall cases, because he wants to be personally involved in each and every one of them. And that's exactly what you get at the Alexander Law Practice. So, for starters, let's get this out of the way. No retainer fee. You're never coming out of pocket. Doesn't matter what has happened to you. Doesn't matter what has happened to your vehicle. You could be up against it right? Financially, you're struggling. You can't afford to get your car fixed. You may need to see a doctor. You may need to see a physical therapist. You're never coming out of pocket at the Alexander Law Practice. They will put together for you a very caring, personable package right there. So questions, fire away. Don't be intimidated and not make the call or check them out online, again, because you think you're going to have to come up with $2,500 or $5,000 or something like that. A lot of people believe that. Not the case. Free consultation. And again, you're never out of pocket. So check them out. 400-6600. You get an immediate callback. Or better yet, check them out online. Just go to Alexander Law Practice. Coming up next, he is the Philly Godfather. We're going to get some props from the Philly Godfather. Should you out there just play them all? Just play every single, set a price and play every single one of the Philly Godfather's props. I don't know. I don't bet. I don't know. I mean, you tell me. We're also going to get a team, and we're going to get a total. That's coming up next with the Philly Godfather.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet and football season is stepping into high gear with playoffs galore. And this is the season for winning. Don't miss out. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and see all the lines, the best plays, parlays, and props. And definitely check out the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub, loaded with trends, streaks, and stats to help guide your picks. Get in on the action now at Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
It's not girl talk, it's sports talk.
Let's talk football.
Tom McManus adds his helmet to the heels with Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl. Afternoons 2 to 4. Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Valentine's Day is sweet, but let's be honest, your septic tank wants attention too. Because when it gets ignored, it doesn't sulk, it causes problems, big ones. That's why Duck Rooter, the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, is rolling out the Show Your Septic Some Love promotion. Right now, get $50 off septic tank pumping when you book by February 28th. Give your septic a little love now so it doesn't make a big scene later. When you start, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, duckrooter.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, celebrating our 49th annual Valentine's Day sale. Come see our hand-picked inventory of thousands of pieces of fine jewelry, diamonds, and gemstones. This Valentine's Day, we have big discounts with jewelry for any budget. And with interest-free financing, you'll get the jewelry you love with a monthly payment you can afford. Monahans will also give you cash for your unwanted gold or silver, or trade it in for new jewelry and get greater value. Monahan Jewelers Valentine's Day sale with big savings in our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Instant Keys is turning 25. A quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish.
Seriously, it was just in my pocket.
Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you for honest, professional locksmith service. Use Instant Keys.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and this month I want to talk to you about welcoming the winds of change in your life. But so often, when we see the winds of change coming our way, our immediate response is to fight it. Friends, when you see things in your life changing, when the winds of change are coming your way, don't fight it, but embrace it. Recognize that God is stirring you up so that you too can soar like an eagle.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Flame Broiler, the Rice Bowl King, is turning up the flavor with new char wings. These wings are charbroiled, never fried, grilled to perfection for a big taste without the grease. Grab them as a 3-piece or 10-piece side, or make it a meal with a 6 or 8-piece combo, served with rice and a drink. Order pickup or delivery today from any of Flame Broiler's 5 Jacksonville locations, or call 904-619-2786. Flame Broiler, bold flavor done right.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, let's bring him in. He's an award-winning author, a bestseller, and a professional handicapper. He is the Philly Godfather. Welcome.
My man Rick, ready for the Super Bowl. The year's going by so fast, and this has been a really odd scenario here. We got two teams that were 60-1 to win the Super Bowl before the season, or higher odds, and that's never happened before. So we got two long shots here in the Super Bowl.
Unbelievable. I saw 60-1, I saw 80-1, and I also saw the total bets were just over 2%. The other 30 teams took on 98% of the total wager to win this year's Super Bowl.
Yeah, that makes sports books extremely happy.
No doubt about that. But I'm sure there's some out there that, had a golf event in Vegas. They're a fan of one of the two teams. They put a couple hundred on it, and they could be sitting here, looking at a huge payday.
Yeah, absolutely. Man. Big numbers. I heard there was a real big one on the Patriots. Got to bet like $2,000 or $3,000. So he's expecting a big payday if they come through this week.
All right. The pros and the public have been all over Seattle. The line hasn't moved all that much, but the percentage has been real heavy on, the Seahawks here. What's the latest, and do you expect that to change by kickoff on Sunday?
I mean, 90% of the money comes on Super Bowl Sunday. So right now about 10% of the action has come in. It's heavily tilted on the Seahawks. About 75% of the tickets punched in the U.S. and offshore market are on Seattle. There is some sharp money on Seattle. It's a tough game to handicap because both teams are ranked, offensively, defensively, top 5. Both teams are the healthiest they've been all season, so there's no edge there. But when it comes to betting the side here, it's hard not to like the Seahawks on the money line at minus 220. I mean, Seattle had the number 1 DVOA on the season, but more importantly, they're also ranked number 1 in the playoffs at DVOA. And if you go back as far as 2013, the team with the higher DVOA entering the Super Bowl has won the game 9 of the last 12 times. But again, this is this is a market, and the point spread is a great equalizer. And at the current price of Seattle minus 4.5, this isn't easy to. It's not easy to lay 4.5 points in a Super Bowl. If you're superstitious, then you definitely like the underdog Patriots here. They're wearing white uniforms. White jerseys have historically dominated. I mean, I think won 16 of the last 21 Super Bowls. And the underdogs have, they've been really successful. They've covered the Vegas number in 13 of the last 18 Super Bowls. But with that said, there's sharp money action on both sides. I know a well-respected sports bettor who bets really big. He took the Seahawks on the money line. He laid 200.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a couple of sharp groups that took plus 5.5, plus 5 on New England. So I've been a little tentative. I haven't bet the side yet, but I do think Sam Darnold has better weapons at his disposal on offense with JSN. He's got Kenneth Walker, Barner, Cooper Kupp. And it's evident by the fact that those 4 players have the top 6 best odds to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I think JSN's at like minus 195 and Walker's at minus 110 to get into the end zone. And every other player listed on the board is at plus money. So Seahawks, I think they got more weapons on offense. Another issue that would concern me if you're looking at the Patriots offensive line, they've been shaky all year protecting their quarterback and in the playoffs. I mean, Drake May's been sacked 15 times, 5 times in each round. So if Seattle can get that pass rush going, Drake May could have a bad day. On the defensive side of the football, both teams are scary good. But Seattle's defense has struggled against tight ends all season. I think they're ranked like 29th in the league, allowing an average of like 67 yards per game, and has surrendered the 3rd most receiving yards through that position. Now, with that said, that's why I took Hunter Henry to go over 3.5 receptions. I also took him anytime touchdown at plus 240. I took a long shot at 45-1 with Jack Westover to grab a touchdown as well. I think he's going to get a couple targets in the end zone. If he catches one, might be able to get 35-1 on your money. You got 2 great defenses here. So I don't think either team will score 30 points or more. I laid minus 130 on that. Shaky offensive line, like I just said. I bet Drake May to throw an interception at minus 140. And Seattle and New England's defense ranked number 1 and number 2 in points allowed this season. So I laid minus 125 on both teams making a field goal of 32 yards or more. Both teams very well coached, disciplined, ranked in the top 7 in least amount of penalties per game. I went under 10.5 penalties. I laid minus 130. on that. And when it comes to MVP, I mean, Darnold is the favorite at plus 120. Mays at plus 240, and the quarterbacks, they usually get the money. But you got two great defenses here. So if you want to take a shot, a long shot for some baby peanuts, maybe DeMarcus Lawrence at 90-1. I actually bet Lawrence at 10-1 to record 1 sack in each half. So if he's a disruptor in the game and he can get to Drake May, I mean, he might end up the MVP, but it's usually the quarterbacks.
Yeah, and you pointed it out. I mean, 5 sacks in all 3 playoff games, and Drake May's been a turnover machine. You got the rookie Will Compton, who's going to have his hands full with a pass rush that has incredible success in Seattle by only sending 4, which means they dropped 7. But I saw that. I also noticed earlier in the week you had an interception by Drake May. I think you had to lay $130 on it.
$140. I think it was $140. Yeah,
okay.
Minus 140. Ramondre Stevenson, long reception. I went over 11.5 yards. Total over 2.5 players to attempt to pass. You get plus money on that, plus 165. And another one I usually bet every Super Bowl is total under 1.5 yards, shortest TD score. So if these teams get to the goal line, if there's a pass interference, something that gets them to the goal line, that usually gets you the money. But you are laying 45 cents on this one.
Yeah, so you don't see a rematch of Super Bowl 11 years ago where Seattle threw from the 1-yard line. Of course, you had the Malcolm Butler interception.
Yeah, which made no sense because you had, you had Marshawn Lynch there, and he was running the ball down their throats. And I don't know what Pete Carroll was thinking in that Super Bowl, man. It cost them, it cost them a Super Bowl. Cost Russell Wilson his second Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
And it might cost them, a place in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Darrell Bevel, he was here as well in Jacksonville early on with Trevor Lawrence, but that was a huge miscue. I really like your no team to score 30 points, either one of the two teams. Do you have an opinion on 45.5 or whatever the total is that you have? Do you like it over or under?
There's some short money that went under 46.5. The line went down to 45.5. There's 45 in some shops. And the reason being is these teams are under offense at a snail's pace. I think the Seahawks want to play every 28.6 seconds. Patriots at every 28.8 seconds. I think they're like in the bottom 4 in the league when it comes to, pace. So there's some sharp under money. I haven't bet the total yet, but there is some really sharp under money. The problem is both these teams are ranked number 1 and number 2 in first half scoring points. So
right.
This one's kind of tough. It's kind of tough.
Let's wrap with this. And I asked you about a yearly, and for the most part, you're not a huge fan of it. But do you get into any of these other, type of props? Is Chris Collinsworth going to say this? Is Chris Collinsworth going to say that? Any of that type of nonsense?
I do if I get the information. It's so hard to, you can't handicap that. But if someone's telling me how long we used to have a guy out there listening and timing the national anthem, and after a few tries, we knew what the average was, and now they did away with that. A couple of times I called the Pepsi distributor trying to find out what the Gatorade color was for the Super Bowl, and I got it 2 out of 3 times. I remember calling. This was years ago, and then they stopped giving that information out when you called the, Pepsi company. Or who the distributor was in that part of the country. But, unless I'm getting information, it's hard. I'm looking to make money. I'm not looking to gamble. But it is entertainment. If you want to have some fun, why not? You bet some baby peanuts.
Philly Godfather, tell our listeners how they can get your best-selling book.
Yeah, you go to phillybooked.com. I'll send you an autographed copy. It'll take about 3 to 7 business days. You go to Amazon, ship to order, but the book will not be signed.
And I follow you on Twitter. You've been on fire with some college hoops and the NBA. What's the best way for our listeners to follow you there?
Yeah, you can follow me on X or Twitter at Philly Godfather, and the website is thephillygodfather.com.
Once again, Philly Godfather, the pleasure is mine and all of us here in Duval. What an unbelievable football season. I know we'll have you back during March Madness, but peace as always, and I appreciate it.
Good luck, guys.
There he goes. Philly Godfather. Just like that. Just like that. National anthem. 125 seconds. Let's just imagine for 1 second here, Aaron, that I was a nice guy and I threw 10K, 10 large on the table. That would be a petrifying bet for me. The coin toss, I feel as though you can favor heads, you could favor tails, but trying to estimate whether or not you're going to go over, under 125 seconds, I want no part of that.
No, that's ludicrous to me. But, at this point, people will bet on anything. It doesn't matter what it is. They'll bet on, I can't even think of anything, but they'll literally bet on anything.
Well, the only good thing about that is the day's over.
Yeah.
Okay, and now with live betting, and this is also really bad for those of you who are degenerates, let's say you put everything into the coin toss. Okay, and prior to that is the national anthem. Let's say you put everything into the national. I mean, who would do such a thing? And I could see taking, some pocket change and putting it on it and have a good time with some buddies. But if you're putting major cabbage on the national anthem, and then you're putting major cabbage on the toss of the coin, brother, you got some issues. You really do. I mean, I can see playing any one of these props, but I just don't get it with those two. The other side of it would be, what if you win? What if you win one? What if you win both? You can kick up your feet for the rest of the game and count your money. But that to me is leaky, all right? If I was a player, I would not go near either one of those. We'll look at some crazy props coming up here in a little bit. I know I'm watching the Phoenix Open right now, and I used to love that comparison. They'd say Rory McIlroy or Phil Mickelson, or, let's pick someone who's actually playing right now. I see that Fitzpatrick is at 6 under par. He is tied for second right now. Would you rather play his score or, let's say, Stephon Diggs' total receiving yards? So let's just say for the conversation, Matty Fitzpatrick, you have him shooting a 66 on Sunday. Is Stephon Diggs going to have 66 yards or more, or is he going to have less than 66 yards? I think that's kind of cool. And there's a lot of ways you can do that. I mean, I've seen NBA players with total points compared to quarterbacks with complete passes. Sam Darnold, 25 complete passes. I don't know. If King James is playing, 25 total points. Man, all the trades we had this week, I see Giannis was not traded. 25 total points. Even the guy who's averaging more than 30. It's pretty amazing. But you can really have a good time with this stuff. And, again, I think it's all designed to drive you crazy. I really do. I think there's part of that where this looks easy to you and you're going to win, but then you see another one right below it and you're like, man, that may be even easier. And then it just ends up distracting you and all these numbers start moving around, kind of like Rain Man, or what was it, Good Will Hunting in that scene where the numbers and everything starts spinning. Anyway, best of luck to you if you're playing. Thank you to the Philly Godfather. Man, it was a quick year with him. We'll have him back during March Madness, no doubt about it. And that'll be here before you know it. But, hey, if you have a favorite prop, let us know. I know you don't want to give away your winners. I know that most of you are in the world of jinx. And why would I give you something that is going to hit? But if you feel like it anyway, go ahead. Or maybe you can pull off some tomfoolery and go opposite of what you're playing. Just a thought. Much more to do with you tonight till 8.
When you want action,
Jacksonville on the move here. First drive of the game.
it's 1010XL.
If you're a Jags fan, you better get your popcorn ready because this guy's something.
Where the action is.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
There's joy in every RV journey. Your journey starts at the Jacksonville RV Mega Show, Thursday, February 5th through Sunday the 8th at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center. It's Northeast Florida's largest RV show with hundreds of RVs on display with lifestyle booths. Adults $10, kids under 12 free. Seniors get $1 off Thursday. Military and first responders get $1 off every day. Thursday through Saturday from 10 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. The Jacksonville RV Mega Show at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center.
Free for life? Just by saying that, you already know I'm referring to Awaken 180. They're the only company providing it. Fast, proven weight loss, and then keep it off thanks to free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Nikki Sema. My dad started in business when I was just 4 years old, and now we're 35 years and 20,000 satisfied customers in, and literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you're looking to revitalize your home with new flooring or need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites and don't forget to stop by our showrooms during our open house and cookout this Saturday from 10 to 3. Come see affordable luxury, experience a lifetime difference, and receive additional open house discounts.
Staying active no matter your age is key to living life at its fullest. Rebound Rehabilitation wants you to know they can get you back up to speed and back in the game pain-free. Rebound Rehabilitation with a dozen locations across the First Coast with top-of-the-line therapists ready to assist you. Neck and back pain, hip, knee, or foot pain, they can help. Excellent patient care combined with the highest quality and rehabilitation services. Look for a Rebound Rehab location near you and get back in the game. ReboundRehab.com.
It all begins with Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health, February 11th, and culminates with a Daytona 500 on February 15th. This week, you can win a pair of tickets to the Daytona 500. What driver won the 2025 Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010. What driver won the 2025 Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name answer to 641-1010 for a chance to win tickets to the Daytona 500, February 15th.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We need to create a little secret right now. Just Ballou, Williams, and listeners of Into the Night. I always tell the truth, except for when it comes to Duval weather. And I cannot believe, I don't know if you've seen this yet, Aaron, the people who have responded, because I said a little bit earlier, it was 78 today with a slight breeze. Radio embellishment is what it's called.
78 with a slight breeze today.
It was nasty outside.
No,
It really was. But listen, I say enough negative things about sports, especially Florida State right now, that in my mind, it's as bad as it is here. It's a hell of a lot better than being back in Boston or being in Buffalo or being in Chicago or being in a place like that. It's going to get nice here again in a day or two, maybe 3.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm definitely a Floridian, but I do love the cold weather because I'm from Connecticut. So, and I go back there. I try to go back there once a year, see my family. So I don't mind the cold weather. So this is beautiful to me. It reminds me of back home.
But you're a young guy.
Yeah.
The older you get, the less and less you're going to be about that. Boy, that's interesting. I guess my first couple of years at Florida State, going back to Boston, I didn't mind the cold as much. Frankly, it's just a lot of fun to complain about. And it's great because I don't really complain about where I once was and complain about the fact that those people are dealing with it and how great things are here. I'll tell you what, you're new to the program. You'll never, ever, ever, ever hear me complain about the heat.
No?
Be 100 degrees, and you will not hear a stitch of negativity out of me when it comes to the heat. Never. This is why I moved down here. I know it gets ridiculously hot at times, but I would take the ridiculously hot than the frigid, cool air 8 days a week.
I'm the opposite. I mean, you can put on as many layers as you want, but there's only so much you can take off, and only so much the air condition will help you.
No. Here's the guy, 0602, said he just Googled it. 15 hours from San Francisco to Sydney. 15 hours. I thought London was just miserable. And, you know, it was typically faster coming back than it was going. And, you know, we typically did it from here. One year we did it from Cincinnati and spent a week out there with Gus Bradley as the head coach, a place called The Grove, which, I'm not kidding about this, Stephen King could have written a novel and they could have made a movie out of a week spent at The Grove. Oh, my gosh, man. It was like the living dead is around us. It was just scary. It was out in the middle of nowhere. We didn't see the sun all week. And, you know, you can have it. I'm big on here. I'm big on the States. You know, I'm big on spending my money here. I'm going to Arizona next week. All right? I'm going to spend my money there. I'm going to be here Monday, but I'm going to leave Tuesday. Obviously, I want to be back Monday after the Super Bowl. But I got some vacay. I never take a day off during these 6 months of football. Never. I mean, why would you? No way. But during the off season, they force me to leave. They come to me and say, Blue, you got to get out of here. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, no, you need to go. And that, folks, is a true story. All right, when we get back, Hall of Fame. Let's get into it. It's a tough list. It's a really hard list outside of two obvious ones. That's Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, they're in. End of conversation. I won't even need to give you any information to support that they are in. The others, very, very intriguing. Let's take a look at that. We'll also take a look at what's up next year because Fred Taylor, Jimmy Smith, you want to do your best to get them in. I want to do my best to get them in, but damn, there's some really big names coming year after year after year. We'll explore that. Plus, I got some Jaguar stuff I want to get into, including a comment made today by Liam Cohen on the newest member of the AFC South coaching fraternity.
Follow the JU Dolphins on 1010XL.
JU travels to Charlotte for a conference clash against Queens. Dolphins Royals. Tonight at 7 on 1010 AM.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 5th, 1989, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar became the first NBA player ever to score 38,000 points.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
This is Sheridan Tootin. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and Dr. Kevin Murphy put my right shoulder back together a few years ago, and I'm still feeling great. Now I'm using PRP treatment for my knee pain. No matter what you're dealing with, if you're enduring any orthopedic issue, my only recommendation is Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist if you ever have a need.
Leave pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm with Greg from Cycling Jacksonville. We always talk about Honda, Triumph, so many great bikes, but Aprilia from Italy is also a beautiful line.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and it is a fine sport bike. It's one that when you take your helmet off, you're never frowning. You're always smiling.
So if you want to treat yourself to something really special on the road, that's a line they should look into?
Absolutely, and we've got them in stock and ready to roll.
All right, make sure you check them out. They are on Atlantic near Regency. CyclesOfJacksonville.com is a great place to go, or check out their Facebook page at Cycles of Jacksonville.
The Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach is better than ever. Come experience our new renovated spaces, including an expanded wellness center with upgraded state-of-the-art equipment, recovery solutions, brand new locker rooms, and the Horsell Center for Health and Well-Being, all designed to help you feel your best. And now you can join with no joining fee. Plus, enjoy your 4th month free. There's no place like this place. And you'll love what's new. Visit the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
Tara Loggeman here for Local Fair Jacks. Fresh, local produce, eggs, and meat delivered right to your door. It's where Jeff and I shop because we know exactly where our food is coming from. There's no scary recalls, just trusted local farmers. Visit localfairjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Big Baby Drip is on YouTube right now, a.k.a. Fatso. Maybe we'll play one of his latest coming up in just a little bit. Of course, his Duval song has taken the city by storm. All right, want to get to the Hall of Fame, but first things first, Liam Cohen making the lap around Radio Row. A little bit earlier today, he was with Pat McAfee. He was asked about Robert Saleh. Here's what he had to say. In 3, 2.
Dude, it is awesome that he's coming. I mean, what a cool move by Tennessee, seriously. I mean, just to get another quality defensive head coach in this league that gets defense to run around that way, I mean, it's fun for us. I mean, you want to play the best. You want to come, and that's no different for coaches. There's no difference. You want to beat your peers. You want to be better than everybody.
Especially when
that's
you
the way it
beat
goes.
the people you hate.
Yeah, exactly.
Ben Johnson, Matt LaFleur.
That's awesome.
Hey, don't interrupt, Liam. He's speaking. For crying out loud. Unbelievable. It didn't sound like Liam a little bit, but we have video to prove it. So there you go. The embrace, at least early on, with Robert Saleh. They're going to kick the living snot out of Robert Saleh in Tennessee. Although, you know, Gus Bradley coming in as a defensive coordinator. Hope he stays with that archaic defensive scheme. Brian Daboll can coach. I think Gus Bradley can coach. Okay? Neither one obviously did what needed to be done as a head coach, but I think are both are really good coordinators. And, of course, Brian Daboll is going to call plays now. We'll see what ends up happening when it's all said and done. Okay, one other nugget before I get to this. I saw a rumor today where Jacksonville was one of 4 teams mentioned to pick up Mike Evans. And let me be crystal clear about this. No, they don't need a wide receiver, especially an aging, injury-riddled wide receiver. Mike Evans is a first-ballot Hall of Famer. What he has done is spectacular. He's frankly one of my favorite players to watch in the league. But you've already got one wide receiver who's getting up there in age in Jacoby Myers. You don't need to add another in Mike Evans. And I understand that Myers is what? I want to say 4 years younger. And that's huge. That really is. That's enormous in football years. Mike Evans, yes, in his prime. But they need to address other positions. He's not going to come cheap. He's still going to cost you, I don't know, $7, $8, $9 million a year, I'm guessing. They just spent $9 million on Diami Brown. So I just say no to that. Again, if you want to comment, absolutely you can. Best way to join us is on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get us tonight on YouTube. Go to 1010XL Into the Night. Hall of Fame will be announced at 9 o'clock tonight. I'm actually really surprised that nothing's leaked. And the reason why I say that is families know, right? They've already knocked on their door. Families, close friends know. I remember the Baselli one. Okay, you know, and people are able to jam it up, which is kind of cool. They're able to keep their mouth shut. But I would think that some of this would have already been pushed forward. And really, unless you've heard something, Aaron, the only three I've heard are Belichick, Kraft, and Eli Manning are out. I haven't heard anything else on anyone else who is out or anyone is in, but I think it's blatantly obvious that Larry Fitzgerald and Drew Brees are, without any question, in.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything different. That sounds about right, which is crazy. I still think Eli should be in, but, you know, maybe that's just me.
The reason why Eli's not in, he's 117 and 117. And, yeah, he won 2 Super Bowls, and he won it in the biggest of markets. He's going to get in. It's just not yet. And again, it's pretty foolish that a year ago, the arrogance by the voters. I mean, again, you've dumbed this down. You've watered this down in every sport, and then you elect 3 plus a veteran. I mean, last year, if you forget, it was Jared Allen. It was Eric Allen. It was Antonio Gates. And then the veterans sent in Sterling Sharp. Okay? The veterans could send in Roger Craig, L.C. Greenwood, and Ken Anderson tonight. We'll see. But 5 out of the 15 could get elected. For the record, I think you're going to get 5 tonight. 2 we know. Fitzgerald and Brees, it's going to happen. Here's not who I would vote for, but who I believe will be inducted tonight. Number 3 is Luke Kuechly. The people were shocked that he didn't get in a year ago. First year on the ballot, okay? Defensive Player of the Year in 2013, several Pro Bowls, several All-Pros. I do. I think, and I wouldn't have voted him in. I would make him wait another year, okay? And I'll tell you why in just one second. I would not vote in Kuechly, okay? But I think he gets voted in, all right? There's number 3. Number 4, and I would vote him in, that's Terrell Suggs. He was just an absolute beast, okay? He was outstanding. And, you know, he won a Super Bowl in Baltimore. If you look at his numbers, lifetime, 139 career sacks. That's 8th all-time. He was ferocious in his day. And he was always considered one of the better pass rushers of his era. I think this happens tonight for Terrell Suggs. That's number 4. Number 5, and again, this isn't who I'd vote in, all right? It's who I think will be inducted. I'm going to say Adam Vinatieri is number 5 tonight. He won 4 Super Bowls. He has the most overtime kicks in the history of the National Football League. He had 599 field goals, tops in the history of the game. He had 2,673 total points. Tops, historically speaking, in the NFL. We know that there's only 4 in, 1 punter, 3 kickers. It's really hard to get into the Hall of Fame as a kicker. But I believe it happens tonight with Adam Vinatieri. So the 5 that I think get in: Fitzgerald, Brees, Kuechly, Suggs, Vinatieri. If I was voting, I would cross out Kuechly and I would cross out Vinatieri. I would have Fitzy, Brees, Suggs. Number 4 for me would be Frank Gore. And I don't care if you say it's a Lifetime Achievement Award, it's an example of longevity. So what? Guy played 16 years and had 16,000 yards rushing. Okay, third all-time. Now, you hear the same things about Fred Taylor, the dominance of that era. And I know Gore played later, obviously, but was Gore ever considered one of the top 5 backs during any single season throughout his career? That's a very fair argument. But we're seeing this Hall of Fame committee penalize individuals who put up fantastic numbers. And I've always been a numbers guy, okay, in every single sport. Now, I get it. If you average 20 a night in the NBA and you average 20 a night on 12 shots and you get to the free throw line, that's one thing. If you average 20 a night but you're taking 19 shots and you're taking 7 from behind the stripe and you don't get to the free throw, I mean, there's differences in ways that you can look at statistics. You can always cook books based on, are you far ahead in the second half? Are you trailing in the second half? I mean, you can bring up quarterback numbers, wide receiver numbers, and how they explode in garbage time. Doesn't matter to me. It's still an achievement. Frank Gore, I'd have to look back throughout his career. Did he get most of his yards in the second half? Did he get most of his yards on teams that he played that had big leads where they said, let's take the clock, let's give the ball to Frank Gore? He still had 16,000 yards. So number 4 for me is Frank Gore. Number 5 for me, ladies and gentlemen, is a former member of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Torry Holt. It is time. It is absolutely time. 920 receptions, 13,382 yards, 14.5 per, 74 touchdowns. Okay? Probably shouldn't have come here in 2009. His entire career, which was really 10 unbelievable seasons in St. Louis. I mean, real quick for you. Look at these numbers. As a rookie, 52 for 788. Then I'll give you yards only. He went 1635, 1363, 1302, 1696, 1372, 1331, 1188, and 1189. His last year, he put up 796 yards. Came here in Jacksonville and actually put up 51 reception, 722 yards. Okay, not as many years as some other wide receivers. Those are Hall of Fame numbers, especially those first 9 years. Tailed off a tiny bit at the very end. I mean, they weren't bad years. 64 for 796, and then 51 for 722. I didn't know that Torry Holt never caught a touchdown pass here. That's interesting. He did in each of his other 10 seasons. We need to start to get this door open for wide receivers, okay? Reggie Wayne is available tonight. Wouldn't be disappointed if he got in. Then you see the Steve Smiths. You see the Anquan Boldens. You see the Hines Wards. You see all these guys and the numbers that they have. I really want Jimmy Smith to get elected. I do. And the best thing that can happen to Jimmy Smith is to start to have these wide receivers getting the gold jacket. I mean, last year, the arrogance of only voting in 3 is, to me, just filled with stupidity. You could have very easily put Torry Holt in last year. You could have very easily put Reggie Wayne in last year or put Luke Kuechly in last year. You know, it doesn't add up for me. But when you look at Jimmy and when you get to Fred Taylor, it's a numbers game, okay? Everyone outside of currently Derrick Henry, the only 2 running backs who have more career yards than Fred Taylor, Adrian Peterson, who joins the ballot next year, and Frank Gore, who obviously hops on the ballot for the first time this year. You need them to get in as well. That's what you got to root for if you're a Jaguars fan. You really do want to see Fred and Jimmy get in. You need guys at their positions to get in. And again, the worst thing that can happen to those guys is have 3 get voted in tonight. And it doesn't matter what the situation in Fitzgerald. You know, Fitzgerald is second all-time in receptions and yards. He actually passed Moss, and he passed, T.O. and everyone else. 1,432 receptions, 17,492 yards. So in all the write-ups mentioned the Super Bowl, right? Which Jacksonville is missing with these two. Kuechly's missing the Super Bowl. When they talk about Fitzy, I read a couple of write-ups, and they're like, he should have scored the game-winning touchdown until Arizona just folded very late defensively in that game against Pittsburgh. So he's like, he would have gotten it anyway, but he's almost like, getting credit as almost winning the Super Bowl, which I do think is hilarious. Okay, let's head to the break. Hey, coming up next year, Adrian Peterson, Gronk, Richard Sherman. Really would like to make him wait a year, a 2, a 3, a 4, just because of what he says about Jacksonville not watching them as a professional analyst covering the great game of the National Football League. So there's 3: Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Alex Mack. It's a very good list, year 1 on the ballot, coming up next year as well. I want to take another trip to beautiful Canton, Ohio, like we did with Tony Baselli. In my guess is, in order for the Jaguars as far as the Hall of Fame, I think it goes Tom Coughlin, Fred Taylor, Jimmy Smith. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Is there a current Hall of Famer on the Jaguars roster? That's pretty interesting. Much more to do with you tonight till 8.
Why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
Because you did not use the magic word.
What is the magic word?
1010XL, where sports magic happens.
Please.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Instant Keys is turning 25. A quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish.
Seriously, it was just in my pocket.
Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you for honest, professional locksmith service. Use Instant Keys.
Catch the sights and sounds of the great outdoors from anywhere in the city. Go hunting and fishing with Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Favor, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show every Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years. And our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
It's your boy, Big Sirs, your lemon pepper guy. And we're in the red zone for the big game. You know I don't play when it comes to Wingstop. Here's the play call. You got to pre-order your wings by Saturday to beat the rush. Spend $50 or more. I'm going to help you score a free large ranch. Just add the large ranch to your cart and use promo code BIGGAME. And check out that Wingstop app or wingstop.com. Spend just $50 on Wingstop pre-order by Saturday and add that free large ranch with your promo code BIGGAME.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Let's talk about the sound no homeowner wants to hear. Drip, drip, drip. Still dripping. That's exactly why Duck Duck Rooter created the Love Your Pipes promotion. Plumbing problems don't scare us. Not with years of experience and honest upfront pricing on our side. Right now, you can get free plumbing assessment on all fixtures with any paid plumbing service. It's the smart move to fix the issue now before it becomes bigger. So when you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, duckduckrooter.com.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit hollispools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tomorrow we'll get a live report from Radio Row. We'll check the very latest. Our good buddy Rafael Esparza, among other things, scheduled for the program on Friday. But that's tomorrow. Right now we're in the moment, and a lot of good stuff happening here on this Thursday, including the 3311, who says Ballou likes the heat because he don't have to work in it. True, but I play golf all the time in the spring and summer, and I can work up a lather. You know what it's like sitting at the beach, as I do every single weekend, just pounding ice cold beers because the GF doesn't drink. Translation, designated driver. I mean, I have to mix in water, so I don't want to dehydrate myself. So it's a very good point by you. What's your take on Pierre Garçon? Nope. They have other things to address. They're fine at wide receiver. They actually, I mean, they are. No question about it. 46-44 Blue. Surely Canton is as nice as Jax. Canton was, how do I be kind here? You know what I liked about Canton? They had some pretty good hole-in-the-wall bars, some good dives. And that was enjoyable. But, yeah, I mean, ugh. I didn't even go to the Hall of Fame. There's nothing I enjoy more than looking at the Hall of Fame, guessing who I think should be in, who shouldn't be in, but they've ruined Hall of Fames. Hall of Fames should be about the best of the best of the best of the best of the best, and put everyone in there and put whatever it is, uniforms. You know, nowadays it's like, well, there was a 100-yard kick return. Let's put this guy. It's like, no. Why do you do things like that? Put only the Hall of Famers and their stuff in there. It's like they put too much garbage in current Hall of Fames. So I live not too far away from Springfield. I never went to the Basketball Hall of Fame. I don't know why. I kind of like to go to Toronto and see the Hockey Hall of Fame. But the only two Hall of Fames that I've been to are Cooperstown in New York and, of course, arguably, if not the single biggest mistake of my life, one of them, and that was visiting the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. Gosh, that was absolutely awful. 39-13, Blue. I left Chicago last night, 50 degrees difference. Whoa. Wife said it was 71 here. It was 21 in Chicago. No thanks. They can have it. Let me tell you something about Chicago. What an unbelievable city. I adored my 7 years there. My daughters were both born in Chicago. And while I was there, I did not think it could be better because I'm just one of those guys that no matter where I'm at, I'm going to make the best out of it. I mean, the job was polarizing. It was a hard gig because I had to know everything about every team. But those winters were just awful. And the wind there, oh my God, man. Lake Michigan is a freaking ocean. And a lot of ponds and big lakes in Chicago. But I really enjoyed it. And I tell you what, the food there, are you kidding? And the culture. I mean, if you're into like museums and stuff, I don't know, art galleries and stuff. I mean, I'm into Irish bars, and they have plenty in Chicago. And that includes the suburbs. Some really good ones. It was a good time, but I'd much rather be here. 6084 Blue just learned that Sam Darnold's grandfather was the Marlboro Man. I'm rooting for the Seahawks now. Yeah, I was told that recently as well. I guess they had the big, the one on Hollywood Boulevard, right? Isn't that where it was, the Marlboro Man? I think so. I don't know. I was never a cigarette guy. Although I do, like at times in college, the girls always got together and smoked. Usually like those Marlboro Light 100,000s. I don't care what the situation is. I take and I haven't done it in decades. I smoke cigars, love cigars. Okay, the only time I smoke cigars are barbecues and golf and on the beach. I may do it next week in Arizona. I think I can get a pretty good cigar in Arizona. What do you think? Or I think we're going to actually go to New Mexico one day. I know I can get a good one there. But I know if I took just one hit out of a Marlboro Light for like the next 20 seconds, I was in complete, absolute out of space. I mean, I couldn't stand. I would get so dizzy on a simple cigarette. Some of you people like it. Okay. That's you. But I got to go with Krispy Kreme. Give me Dunkin' Donuts. I can't have Krispy Kreme. Give me Dunkin' Donuts. Krispy Kreme's really good. The glazes are outstanding. If I get away with it, man, I'd eat donuts every single day of my life. It is the greatest breakfast food ever invented. And if you're listening out there, it's also really healthy for you. Is it Alano's? I don't know anything about it. Is the best, better than Starbucks all day. Dunkin' say, yeah. I mean, listen, if you have a local coffee shop, I'm all about that. That's fantastic. I don't see a lot of local coffee shops. And again, I'm not looking for them around here. They're huge up where where I come from. Dunkin' Donuts is all over the place as well. I think they have Starbucks up there now. I'm not sure, but yeah, a locally owned mom and pop, coffee shop is outstanding if you have it. Speaking of locally owned, how about the Blue Crab House? They got their Mardi Gras menu out. You want a little spice in your life? Oh, Blue Crab House, open till 9 o'clock, right off of San Jose, there on Jillington Creek Road. You like po' boys? You ever had a po' boy before?
Oh, yeah. Shrimp po' boy.
Oh, the best.
They are.
They got them there right now. They got gumbo. They got all sorts of great stuff. They whip it out for the month of February at the Blue Crab House. So, again, they're closed Monday, but they're open every day the other 6 days of the week. Good stuff about that. No doubt about it. 5,200, some really good golf courses you're talking about in Chicago. Yeah, I mean, I think really, every place in the United States has great golf courses. You just need money to be able to tend to them, right? And, in a lot of cases, Mother Nature will provide that for you. Certainly out west, you know, I mean, if you're living in Portland, Oregon, or something crazy like that, around here we experience droughts. And then there are times where you're just getting too much rain. But, there's no doubt about it. And when it does get hot during the summer, there's nothing I love more than playing golf in Colorado or North Carolina, or, you know, going back to Boston and playing at Sky Meadow in New Hampshire, or playing the White Cliffs right as you enter Cape Cod in Plymouth and places like that. He says there's some really good golf courses in Canton, Akron, and Cleveland. I believe you. As a matter of fact, the Miller Electric guys went. There was like a major was played. I can't think of the course. Like right there in Canton, you know, like right down the road. I don't know if it was Senior Tour or the PGA Tour, but a very, very high-class golf course. 35-25, we talk all the time about how to build good teams through the draft and re-sign our own players. Why not re-sign one of the best? In ETN and Lloyd, it's what you do. You can't afford to. Trent Baalke spent like a drunken sailor, and you can't afford to. And I'll tell you why. You got to do Walker. You got to do Anton. You got to do Parker. You got to do Brenton Strange. I think you have to do Buster Brown. I would like to do Antonio Johnson. So there's 7 off the top of my head that I think you have to really take a look at. I think it's a chance with ETN. I do. But again, the position. We just talked about longevity of Frank Gore. They're few and far between. Every year in the NFL, and when you lose it at that position, I mean, is there any in sports, maybe a pitcher in baseball, but is there a position in sports where when you lose it, man, you're done? And that's running back. And look at some major, Le'Veon Bell's up for the Hall of Fame next year as well. When he fell off, brother, did he ever fall off? When Dalvin Cook fell off, man, did he ever fall off? When Todd Gurley fell off, I mean, these guys all signed big-time contracts. And then the game just got away from them. So it's the position, not the player. Lloyd, they can't even begin to afford Devin Lloyd. At a minimum, he would cost $17 million. I'm sure right now his agency is looking for something close to $20 million a year. I think ETN, no matter where he goes, will still be productive. And I think there's a chance that Jacksonville gets him. Lloyd's gone. And I think there's a chance that he could be a bust if he's not in the right system. Okay? This is the right system. Is it worth it to take a little bit less and be here and be a Pro Bowler? That's an interesting question. It really is. I mean, I can't imagine what it would be like to be offered that type of money. And again, there's only a small opportunity to make all this cash. And then you got the rest of your life. You got to go on to something else. Like both those human beings an awful lot. They're both going to be missed if they, in fact, sign elsewhere in the locker room. A couple of really good guys. All right, much more to do. I pulled up these wide receiver numbers. I wanted to go through that real quick. Hold on now. This is important. 46-44. Do I like Chicago hot dogs? Hell yeah. I love Chicago hot dogs. Something about the beef there in Chicago. And again, you got to put the tomatoes on there. They take the field here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. They call it Jordan-Hare. It's spelt different. Not Jordan. It's with a G. But it's hot peppers and like hot little cucumbers and onions and pickles and all that stuff. A Chicago hot dog is absolutely incredible. You're right, 46-44. Baloo, favorite Irish bar in Jacksonville in the 20s. Jacksonville sucks for Irish bars. Okay, I'm not going to lie. They're plastic. And I wish that wasn't the case, but I lived in Boston where they're all over, and Chicago may have right there with Boston and maybe New York, the three best cities with Irish bars. Unfortunately, that's not the case here in Jax.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios, brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Farah and Farah is thrilled to offer our annual Empowering Greatness Scholarship. 5 Florida high school seniors will receive 2 years' worth of tuition to a Florida college, university, or trade school. Apply now. Jacksonville.
Spring is almost here. Is your yard ready? Lucas Tree Service, a family-owned business with over 45 years of experience, is your local certified arborist for tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for residential or commercial properties. Protect your home, boost your curb appeal, and get top-notch service from a Jacksonville company. Make sure your trees are healthy and safe before summer hits. Schedule your tree inspection today at lucastreeservice.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and when the weather starts to shift a little bit, especially during the fall, you've got some really cool stuff from Honda Off-Road.
We do. It's my favorite time of the year for me. Nice little chill in the air. We've got some side-by-sides. We've got the ATVs. Of course, they're legendary dirt bikes. We've got it all.
And for the hunter?
Oh, we've got side-by-sides that work and play.
All right, so make sure you check it out. Showroom wide open for you on Atlantic near Regency. If you want to go off-road and have some fun, check out Cycles of Jacksonville.
Listen up, Guggens Hicken here, still talking skin. This time I want to give you some great advice for Valentine's Day. Look, don't buy anything that either dies or adds pounds. Go see the girls at Beaches Dermatology and get a gift card or even a specific skin treatment, one that will enhance her beauty, maybe even help her look like she did when y'all first met. It's possible. Skin treatment is very important, and a gift from Beaches Dermatology makes a perfect gift this Valentine's Day. For locations, go to beachesdermatology.com.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jax. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jax, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjax.com.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater Irrigation
and drainage too.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All sorts of things happening, including the Hall of Fame. It'll be announced in about an hour and a half, a little bit later on tonight. 5 could be enshrined. Out of the 15, I think there's no doubt that Larry Fitzgerald and Drew Brees are in. I also think Luke Kuechly gets voted in. After that, you can pick a handful of guys. For what it's worth, I think the selection committee is going to vote in Terrell Suggs and Adam Vinatieri. As far as the veterans, I have no idea. Belichick's out. Kraft is out. The way they're making it seem, Roger Craig, L.C. Greenwood, and Ken Anderson are all going to get in. I don't know. We'll see. Searching for the very latest on Sam Darnold. He was limited yesterday with an oblique. They got a big injury in their secondary. Nick Emenware with an ankle was forced out. So that's something to keep an eye on. For New England, it was a full practice on Wednesday for Drake May. Again, they're 3 hours behind us. Still waiting for that report to come in. And round one out in Phoenix, a rookie. I've never heard of him before. He's out of Oklahoma. The Sooners, Chris Gotterup, an 8 under 63. Okay. And he is your leader through the first round. Matt Fitzpatrick is 2 strokes out at -6. Boy, this leaderboard. Former Seminole David Berger at -4. Jake Knapp at -4. I'm looking for bigger names here. I'm not finding them. Hideki Matsuyama at -3. It's one of the only issues I have with the PGA Tour is the lack of star power. And you make so much money off endorsements and so much money from everything that goes on that you really don't have to play all that much. Max Homa -2, Victor Hovland -2, Bud Cauley, I think Bud may live here, -1, Jordan Spieth -1, and I think that's all I'll give you at this particular time, unless Xander Schauffele and Ricky Fowler, both evens today. All right, there are some big gains. Webb Simpson, +1, former Players Champion. As we do know, I thought Brooks was playing. I didn't see him. Brooks Koepka, +475. Billy Horschel was over at the Plantation, another great golf course here in Jacksonville, +3 through 17. So there you go, the very latest there. I do want to wrap things up. First of all, I didn't realize this today until I read it. You realize Josh McDaniels is going to his 10th Super Bowl? 10 as an offensive coordinator. And apparently the Patriots put in several new elements of their offense yesterday. All right? And, that's you do see additions, schematically speaking, throughout the course of the year. But I'm trying to figure out, how legit is this, or is it a planted story to try to get Seattle to think on it, that this is going to happen and that's going to happen? Again, my guess here is that Seattle wins this game comfortably, and I think they're really going to get after Drake May by rushing 4. I just don't think New England's offensive line is going to be able to withstand the pass rush. And even though they only send 4 guys, I think that is going to be the case. All right, let me give this to you. Jerry Rice first all-time. Fitzy gets in tonight second. Then it's T.O., Randy Moss, Isaac Bruce, Tony Gonzalez. I'm looking at yardage. Tim Brown 7. Steve Smith is 8th all-time. 14,731. He's not a finalist tonight. He needs to be. Get him in. Harrison at 9. Number 10, Reggie Wayne. He is a finalist tonight. I think Torrey Holt gets in tonight, but if not, I would have no problem with the former Kane getting in with Reggie Wayne. Again, you got to get these guys in order to get Jimmy up there. Then you go Andre Johnson, James Lofton, Chris Carter. Then it's Anquan Bolden, 13,779. Got to get him in. Henry Ellard is actually older, much older than Jimmy Smith. Man, the guy put up some incredible numbers, 13,777. Wouldn't be bad to see him actually get in, with the Veterans Committee. Then it's Julio Jones. His last year was 2023, so 24, 25. He's got a few more years, but there's another guy who's going to get in. And then it's Torrey Holt. You got to get those players in order for Jimmy to get in. After that, it's DeAndre Hopkins still playing. Andre Reed, he's in. Steve Largent, he's in. Mike Evans, 13,052 yards. There was a rumor that Jacksonville's one of 4 teams interested in Mike Evans. I don't believe that. I don't think he'll go there. Sure, he's out of Tampa, but he's a Hall of Famer. Jason Witten, there's an interesting one. No doubt. Okay? Travis Kelce, and then Irving Fryer and Art Monk. So you just look at these players. And, you know, the active ones that I mentioned, DeAndre Hopkins, the guy's got more than 13,000 career yards. He's going to get in. Mike Evans, going to get in. Kelsey's the tight end, going to get in. Devontae Adams, 12,633 yards, going to get in. You know, Hines Ward is there. Derek Mason is there. Keenan Allen still plays. I mean, there's a ton of names. But you go 26, 27, 28 total yards. Adams, Brandon Marshall, Antonio Brown, who enters the fray next year. Then it's Jimmy Smith, 12,287 yards. Right behind him, Charlie Joyner. I mean, behind him, Michael Irvin, Don Maynard, Calvin Johnson. Look at some of those names. But that's what you got to hope for tonight. I mean, if you really want to see Jimmy Smith and Fred Taylor get in the Hall of Fame, the 3 guys that you should be hoping for tonight are Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, and Frank Gore. Those are your 3. All right? I don't think any are going to be voted in tonight, unfortunately, and I hate it. Okay. Again, if I had my way, I'd vote in Fitz. Oh, Fitzy's getting it. I'd have Fitzy, Breeze, Holt, Gore, and Terrell Suggs. That would be the 5 that I would vote for. But I don't have a vote. Does Hacker have a vote? Let's find out. He's coming up on the other side. He'll join you beginning at 8 o'clock.
Listen to radio play-by-play. You don't just hear the game, you feel it.
This feel good. That feel good.
Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL, Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Gators in the morning, Florida for lunch. A late night Gator snack. Whenever you're ready, the Gator Podcast channel is too. Set up by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Zero Res Month of Love sale. Hicken here. Your air ducts are like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air quality suffers. As many as 1 in 5 Americans suffer from allergies caused by particles frequently found in air inside most homes. Not only is indoor air quality an issue year-round, but especially now that allergens such as pollen are coming out of hibernation. Take advantage of Zero Res's February sale. $100 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and say you want the 1010XL or Dan Hicken special. Zero Res.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, company mascot at your service.
There are 2 important steps to installing the perfect garage floor. The 2-stage coating application? Sure. But nothing is more important than preparing the floor. Our team uses diamond grinding machines to grind your floors to a smooth, level finish. Only then can we...
Hold on! You grind garage floors with perfectly lovely diamonds!
No, Chester. We grind floors to perfection using the very best ugly diamonds. Too ugly for jewelry, but perfect for the grinding pads we use to prep the surface.
Perfect preparation and application. Now that's a perfect marriage.
Ugly diamonds?
Check. Perfect preparation?
Check. Smooth, gorgeous gleaming floors that really catch your eye? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com.
Flame Broiler, the Rice Bowl King, is turning up the flavor with new char wings. These wings are charbroiled, never fried, grilled to perfection for a big taste without the grease. Grab them as a 3-piece or 10-piece side, or make it a meal with a 6 or 8-piece combo, served with rice and a drink. Order pickup or delivery today from any of Flame Broiler's 5 Jacksonville locations, or call 904-619-2786. Flame Broiler, bold flavor done right.
Hi, it's Tara Lagaman. Jeff and I love Local Fair Jacks for fresh eggs, quality meat, produce. It's all from local farmers. There's no scary recalls, just food you can feel good about feeding your family. Learn more at localfairjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, light schedule in the NHL tonight. Actually, not as light as I thought. I think there's 8 games, and then that's it. They're going to break for about 3 weeks with the Olympics getting underway. So for you hockey fans out there, you're going to have to brace yourself just a little bit. All right, we're about an hour away from the Hall of Fame. Hacker, you'll be live on air for it. First of all, maybe you've seen something. I'm surprised nothing is leaked.
The only thing that's leaked is the guys that aren't getting in.
Yeah.
You know,
But think of all the people that have to have their mouths shut and
Right.
have done it.
Yeah. I mean, the big news, obviously, Belichick, we know. Apparently, Robert Kraft.
Yeah.
I think it leaked out that Eli is not getting in, which, again, I'm just flabbergasted by, to be honest.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see. But, yeah, somebody's life will change tonight, or I guess a few people's lives will change tonight.
No doubt about it. And, you know, Frank Gore, first time up. It's Adrian Peterson next year. You need to get them in and out immediately for Fred Taylor. And, you know, once again, Fitzy gets in, no doubt, Larry Fitzgerald. But Holt and Wayne available tonight. Then there's about 6 others that are ahead of Jimmy if you look at all-time leading yards. Receiving, you got to get those guys in if you want Jimmy Smith to enter it.
Jason Cole, the Hall of Fame voter I had on last week, was laying this out for us. And the guys that are on the ballot beginning next year, Gronk,
right?
Richard Sherman, Jason Witten, and you mentioned Adrian Peterson.
Right.
There's a loaded
Ben Roethlisberger
as well. There's a loaded crew coming in next year. Next year literally could be all first ballot guys to get in.
Yeah, and, you know, last year they only voted in 3 along with Sterling Sharp, a veteran. They voted in Eric Allen, Jared Allen, and I'm trying to remember who the last guy was I mentioned a little bit earlier.
Was it Willis, or was that 2 years ago?
Nah, Patrick Willis was 2 years ago. See if you can see who the other player who was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2025 was. Aaron, please, if you don't mind. I mentioned it like 4 times today during the show, and I've already forgot.
Yeah, but it's a fun night. And then, you know, look, Liam Cohen, a finalist for Coach of the Year. Trevor Lawrence, a finalist for not only Comeback Player of the Year, but MVP. I doubt either one will win. But the fact that both of those guys are finalists, who would have ever thought Trevor would be an MVP finalist when this season started back in September?
No. I mean, it's incredible. You look at those last couple of games and what he was able to do. Absolutely spectacular. Did you get who else it was, by any chance?
You said
Aaron?
for 2025?
Yes.
I said it's Antonio Gates, Jared Allen.
There you go. Thank you. Antonio Gates.
Yeah.
And well-deserving.
Antonio Gates, was he the guy that never played? Did he never play college ball?
Played college basketball.
Yeah, played college basketball. Crazy.
Yeah.
In the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and he didn't play college football.
You know, we don't have time for the conversation now, but these youngsters who are dead set on one sport so early in their life, the great athletes and they all played every sport. I mean, look at Dave Winfield. They got drafted by 4 different sports if you include the ABA with the NBA. But you grew up, you played football, you played hockey or basketball, you played baseball. Not today.
People will tell you Allen Iverson might have been a better football player than he was a basketball player. He
Right.
chose basketball, but he was like all-state in football in high school as
Joe
well.
Mauer.
Yeah, and he's another one.
Yep, it goes on and on. All right, what else tonight for you?
Yeah, we're going to talk to former Jaguar wide receiver Cecil Shorts, kind of wrap up the Jaguar season, take a look ahead to the offseason, certainly talk about the Super Bowl as well. Neil Blackman of Saturday Down South, talking a little Florida Gator hoops as they got a big one with Texas A&M coming up on Saturday. And I'm going to talk about my favorite Super Bowl memory and really the game where I did not have a dog in the fight, but I think I'm the football fan that I am because of this particular Super Bowl. I'm going to go down memory lane and see if people can relate to that.
All right, that'll be a lot of fun. That's coming up right now. Have a great show.
Thanks, Rick.
All right, it's Hacker Nation. He is out. Actually, he's in. I'm out. But hey, gonna be a lot of fun tonight to monitor what does happen. And again, Hacker will keep you updated. That'll be announced in about an hour. All right, we got some good stuff scheduled for tomorrow, including a live report from Santa Clara, and/or San Francisco, and/or San Jose. We don't know. Just somewhere smack dab in the middle of it all. That's coming up on Friday. Some other good stuff as well. Hey, appreciate all your input tonight. As always, the pleasure is mine. Thank you to the Philly Godfather. Thank you to Aaron Williams. My name is Rick Ballou. We'll talk Friday at 6 right here on your home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.